Thank you for checking out the video and joining me on my channel, where you'll be able to get relevant and simple solutions to help you grow through your challenging defining moments. Today, I'll be speaking about the top 10 myths to time management. Now, there's a lot of information that goes around about how to effectively manage your time and to get the most out of your day and to balance all the tasks that you're doing and to increase your productivity. But I just wanted to speak about some of the myths that I found that were preventing me from actually progressing forward and had me stuck in a routine that was not allowing me to enhance my lifestyle. Once I did learn these myths, they really helped to change the way I look at time and the relationship that I have with it. So to get started, I am going to start with number 10, and I have a few notes to help me through the process. So number 10 is the myth that everyone has the same time management challenge. Now, this one is a myth because as an individual who doesn't have any children, my time management challenges are different for someone who has a family and managing full-time workload, as well as all the other responsibilities of being a parent. So to believe that everyone has the same time management challenges and the same solutions in order to effectively enhance their time management, that's going to be an issue in itself. So really think about that when you are scheduling your tasks or engaging in your activities. Think about the things that you have to get done and try not to compare yourself to other individuals because your situation is completely different. Okay, number 9, you need to get more done in less time. So this one is also a myth because it's not just about getting all of these things completed in the least amount of time. It's about effectively completing what you're doing. So in a situation of my own, when I started my coaching practice, my coaching business, I spent a lot of time getting things set up. And it wasn't about the amount of time that I spent on it, but it was really about making sure that it was done correctly so that I wouldn't have to go back and do that same task over and over each and every time. But it was about setting a foundation. So really, it's about what you get done and not necessarily about the amount of time that it took to get it finished. Now, if you're in a work situation and you have timelines or you have billable hours that you have to work by, then yes, you want to make sure that you balance your time as much as possible or balance the activities as much as possible. But really, sometimes you do have to invest more time in order to get something done in the best possible way. Okay, so number 8, multitasking is the best way to manage your time. This one was a big myth that was really keeping me stuck in a cycle, because when I was working in my professional establishment, when I was working in the corporate world, it was about making sure that you were getting all of the demands finished that were being put on you. And although I had my own caseloads to work on, there would be clients who would come and they had a question, or there'll be colleagues who wanted me to support them on a project or get things done, or management that required me to finish something or support them in a job as well. So this was an issue because although I could do it, although I knew I could do it, I would just say yes to a lot of the projects just to get them done. Over time, I realized that although I said yes to the projects and I would take them on, it would be about making sure that I would finish what I had on my plate first, because unless it was really, really important and it could not be put on the side for a little while, then I would complete what I was doing first and then help the other individual with their tasks, because it would really, I would find that at the ending of the day, I would be doing so much work, but not getting anything really done. And maybe you felt this way before, so go ahead and feel free to leave a comment if this has ever happened to you, if you've ever had the issue with multitasking, because I know that was a big one for me until I just started to say, nope, can't do that one right now, or choose my priorities. This is more important than the other task that's being asked of me. So time multitasking, that's a big one, and it really ties back to number 9, where it's about thinking that you have to get so much done in the least amount of time. Okay, so number 7, technology improves time management skills. Technology will improve your time management skill. Now, there's some truth in it, because there is some apps and there are so many platforms or so many resources, but if you don't commit to enhancing your time management skills, then even though you set an alarm and you have apps that will give you notifications and all these reminders, if you are not committed to enhancing those skills, when your alarm goes off, you'll snooze. And when your notifications comes on, if there's something that is actually grabbing your attention or you are choosing to give your attention to, then you're not going to feel like you need to pay attention to those notifications, and you might just turn them off, silence them, and still you'll have to go back to do the work that you were being reminded to do but chose not to do. So although there's technology that will help to enhance your time management skills, this is something that you need to be able to develop and practice and enhance over time. Okay, so we have number 6, which is, if you could just get your schedule right, then you would have better time management. Now, if you're anything like me, you might schedule a lot of things in your planner about what you hope or what you are committed to getting done for the day. I know that when I was still following all of these myths about time management, I would write stuff in my schedule, and then if I found a little bit more space in there and someone asked me to do something, I would say, oh yeah, okay, go ahead, and I can include it into my schedule. And the thing is about, you never really get your schedule right. You might get your schedule to work for you, but the thing is, life happens, right? So even if you have a schedule, there will be things that come up, and they may have a higher level of importance that you have to get to or accomplish. So although you have your schedule there, just because you write things down doesn't mean you're going to get it right. As I said before, it's really about making sure that you follow through with those things and manage your time so that you manage the activities so that you are able to accomplish all of the things that you put in your schedule. And you'll find out that even though you write things in your schedule, not every day you'll be able to finish them all. Some days you'll have a good day where you finish everything on your schedule, and some days not as much, and you might finish 1 or 2 things on your schedule because they took more time to complete. But then again, those tasks are completed and they are off of your schedule. So you want to make sure that you don't get caught in that myth of thinking that if you got the schedule right and you got the hours right, then everything will work out for you and you will just be this genius time management individual. Okay, so we have number 6, which is the most efficient are the most effective. So I just want to put it into a little bit of context. So to be efficient means you might use the least amount of resources, the least amount of money, the least amount of time in order to get something done or in order to work on something, right? But then when it becomes effective, you may use more resources and you may invest more money or more of your time, but at the same time, you know that it is actually leading to the path of your goals or the level of success that you're looking for. So sometimes even though you're efficient and you get things done quickly and you use the least amount of resources, that's really good. But as I mentioned, initially, you always want to make sure that you are doing effective work that is going to build upon each activity so that you're moving in the direction of your goals. And again, when I started out with Why Life Coaching Solutions, there was a lot of time that was invested in the foundational pieces because I was building systems and I was building worksheets and I was building the ebook and I was building all of these things so that I would have these in place so I wouldn't have to go back and do that later. I might need to revise it because as you work with different clients, you find out more about them and the needs might change a little bit, but it would be a revision and not starting completely from point zero at each time that you think of something that you have to do for your goal or for your business. So it was important to be effective, and I wasn't focused so much on the efficiency and getting it done quickly. As I said, I am the type of person who would rather get it take the time to invest in it so that it's stable and it's sustainable over a period of time. Okay, so number 5 is you have to have a to-do list. Now, how many of you still use a to-do list? I found out that the to-do list was actually causing a lot more stress for myself and for some other individuals as well, because when you have a to-do list and you write all the things that you need to do, and then you look at it and you don't accomplish those things, you're actually causing stress because your mind is telling you now, look at how much things you had to do. How come they're not done? And you go into the cycle of, I haven't finished this. Look, again, something I haven't completed. So I like to create an action list or an inspired list, and that will be based upon things I have to action and get finished. And when I see the word action, I know, okay, these are things that I have to do, and these are the top priorities in order for me to move on to the next level of my goal. And one of the things I realized when I was caught in the time management myth was that it was about just doing tasks and doing activities. But then when I realized about the action piece and the feeling inspired piece, it really brought my state of mind to a place of building, and it was about building with this, using this skill, and then working on this activity, because it was a sequence of how it was going to be built up. So instead of just doing a whole bunch of activities and just giving my time in that way, I made sure that it became about action and being inspired to do these things as well. Okay, so number 3 is you have to schedule every hour on the hour. And this relates back to number 4, because it shows that if you're scheduling every hour on the hour, you're not really leaving a lot of room to have inspiration flow into your life, or a little bit of spontaneous this happen in your life as well, because you're scheduling every hour. For me, between the hours of 2 to 3 is my least productive hours, and my energy is a little bit lower there. So I don't schedule anything in my day during that time. If I find myself working on a task and I'm still doing it during those hours, and I feel the momentum and a high vibration to continue to doing it, I will. But in some cases I don't, so I don't schedule anything in. But if you're scheduling every hour on the hour, it's a little bit, it doesn't leave room open for anything else, to any type of inspiration to flow into your life, because you're so focused on, I need to get this job done, I need to get this part done, and I need to finish it. So you're focused more on the activity and the task instead of feeling connected to the work that you're doing. And I'm such a advocate for feeling good about the work that you're doing and feeling connected to the work that you're doing, because in the workforce there are so many individuals who are not engaged in the work that they're doing, and it's not necessarily that they don't love it, and in some cases they don't, but it's also about just not feeling inspired by the work that they're doing because of the timelines and the deadlines that are attached to it, that it makes it seem so rush and not an experience that you can have. And I know that's a challenge for so many individuals, just as it was for me, and even not related to the workforce, just in life in general. Sometimes the responsibilities that we have takes away from the inspiration and the actual experience with being able to do work that you love to do and build whatever the foundation to whatever you're working on, and achieving these tasks, and when achieving these goals. And even when you achieve the goal, you don't feel fulfilled or inspired, and that's a common theme. And that's why I speak a lot about removing the myths and living an inspired action lifestyle. Okay, so number 3 is that you are the only judge of your time management skills. Now, this one is a myth, because although initially when you're going through a challenge, you are responsible for creating your routines, you're responsible for taking action. And although you're going to get help from other individuals, taking action to get help from other individuals is part of the process as well. I know when I was experiencing my own challenges, initially I didn't want to share a lot of the information that I was going through with anyone. And it wasn't because I was ashamed of it, or that wasn't the real issue, that I was ashamed or anything like that. It was because I didn't even know how to express it, and I didn't even know what my schedules were or what I was going through. It was like a moment of experiencing it, a newness, a transition, without really being able to describe it. And this was the challenge of being able to talk to people about what I was going through, and just saying I don't know, I don't know, because I was figuring it out. And as time went by, I was able to figure it out and connect with the individuals that I needed to. But it's about you are not the only judge of your time. You are not the only best judge of your time. So this is a myth, because you are a good judge. You are a good judge of your time, especially when you're establishing routines and habits. You have to do the work. That part is on you. But in a situation, for example, you go to meet somebody and you're late to meet them, you're late by 5 minutes. That person might say, you're not a good judge of your time, right? Because you're late for that meeting. But you might be thinking, before in the past, I was late 30 or 45 minutes all the time, but now it was only 5 minutes. So you could think that you're improving. So it's really relative, but there is accountability. But initially, if you're experiencing a challenge and you are getting up, you're waking up, and you're trying to establish a routine and you're working on it consistently, then I think that is something that you should acknowledge. And then over time, you can connect with the right people who will help you with your time management if you are really having a concern or issue with that, and hold you accountable to the activities that you say that you're going to be doing. Okay, and the number one myth to this whole time management thing is that you can actually manage time. So I know throughout the video I was saying manage time, but really I learned that it's about managing your activities. And once you manage your activities, things really change for you. It actually frees up more time, and it actually allows you to experience the work that you're doing. I think a lot of people experience that burnout feeling, or say they have burnout, because they're just doing and not taking the time to be in that moment, to be present in that experience, to do a task and say, okay, well, look at what I created, look at what I finished. And it's a level of not acknowledging the work that you're doing. And I know sometimes it's about wanting other people to acknowledge the work that you're doing, and then you think that you will feel better. But it's really about acknowledging what you're doing and letting other people catch up in the process about the work that you're doing. So as I said, these are the top 10 myths to time management. Let me know which ones you have been struggling with or have kept you stuck, or which ones you would work on changing. I know that for me, I expressed that, the multitasking was one for me that I've given up, and learning that it's all about managing your activities have really proven to be very effective in enhancing my lifestyle. So go ahead and like this video, subscribe, and turn on your notifications for upcoming videos regarding weekly actionable tips and strategies that you can take on to help you grow through your challenging defining moment, while focusing on NLP techniques, and at the same time allowing or helping you to feel confident as you do it. And I will check in with you in the next video. Take care.